Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bridget, a registered nurse in UK. On this channel, I talk about everything migration, finding jobs, relocating, but please, I am not an immigration officer or advisor. This is a disclaimer. Neither am I an employer. Those contacting me to help them find jobs, please and please and please, I can't do that because I'm not an employer. Neither am I an agent or anything of that sort. So I can't help you to find a job. Okay, I can only share links with you when I come across them. Thank you for understanding this particular aspect. Let's go into today's agenda. Today I'll be talking about skilled worker visa for dependents, who the UK consider as your dependents, and then the cost involved in bringing your family, and then the most important part, the documents involved. So please stay tuned. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for staying with me. And also, please, those who don't know, subscription is free. Subscription is actually free, so kindly hit that subscription button, okay? And subscription is once. If you will subscribe to this video, you don't need to subscribe again when you come on the channel. Thank you so much. Let's start with partners. So who does UK consider as your partner? Your partner should first of all be more than 18 years, and then you should either be married, that's one, you should be in a civil partnership, or you should have stayed for at least 2 years. You should have been together for at least 2 years. So yes, your boyfriend or your girlfriend qualifies as your dependent and can actually apply as a dependent on your skilled worker visa and join you in UK. And we are going to talk more about how to go about it so that your visa will not be rejected. Now, we've talked about partner. Now, who is your child? Your child can be your biological child, or it can be an adopted one. So if you have an adopted child, meaning you have documents supporting the adoption, it should be a legal adoption. Now, this child should not be more than 18 years. Yes, if your child is 18 years, they are not considered dependents. And if they are 16 years, they shouldn't be financially independent. They shouldn't be living on their own, or they shouldn't be married. If any of these three applies, if any, even one applies, it means that child is not your dependent. But one good news is, let's say your child is 16 years now, and then they come on your visa and you are reapplying for visa and they are 18 years. UK says they are going to consider them, they are going to extend their visa for them. Now, according to UK government's website, if you are applying for visa for your child, your partner or the other partner should also be applying at the same time the child is applying. So I'm using myself, for example. I was in UK, so whilst applying for my child's visa, I'm supposed to apply for my husband's visa. You can even apply for a visitor's visa for your partner to bring the child to you in UK, unless your partner is also already in UK as a resident. Now, the other exception where you may be able to apply for your child without your partner is when you are the sole caretaker, or you take sole responsibility of this child. For example, a deceased partner. The other exemption is that if there are compelling reasons. For example, if my partner is, let's say, abusive towards the child, I can apply for the child alone to come with, let's say, another adult who is not my partner. But you have to provide evidence. There should be enough evidence to prove that there's actually something wrong somewhere. That's why you don't want your partner to bring the child, because ideally, if you're coming with a child, or if you're bringing your child, there should be a mutual agreement between you and your other partner. I mean, there should be a mutual agreement between myself and my husband that yes, we've agreed we are bringing this child to UK. That's why they want the other partner to come with the child to make it easy. Now let's talk about the cost involved. The money I'm going to mention is not the cost of application. The money I'm going to mention now is maintenance fee. Maintenance fee is money you're supposed to have in your account to support yourself when you arrive in UK. Some of us are on sponsorship, so we didn't need to provide proof of funds. So when you are providing this, when you are paying this maintenance fee, it's not money that you pay to government. You show it in your account, so you have to add bank statements to prove that you have enough money to support yourself when you arrive. And for the main applicants, it's about £1,270. So it's equivalent in your currency. Okay, you provide it as evidence. Then for your dependents, you need £285 to prove to government that you have that money to support your partner. Then for your child, you need $315 for the first child. So let's say your partner and one child are coming in. That will be £600 in total. Then each additional child is £200. So if you have 4 kids, okay, if you have 4 children, your partner is $285. The first child is $315. Then $200 for the second child. Then $200 for the third child. It goes like that. But if you have sponsorship, if your employer offered you sponsorship and take maintenance for you and your dependents, then you don't need proof of funds. Okay, you don't need any of these. And the good news is this money could either be from your account or your dependent's account, or both. So you can provide this proof of funds from 2 separate accounts together. It's accepted. Now, the cost of visa application, the cost depends on whether you are applying from within the UK or outside UK. So those who are within UK who are extending their visas, for example, will pay a different amount, and their decision period will also be different. Okay, apply from UK, your decision is longer, about 8 weeks. But if you apply from outside UK, it takes about 3 to 5 weeks or so. But we got a decision in 3 days. 3 days, yes. Then also for your dependents, mostly the amount to be paid is calculated per the number of years of your visa and the number of years or months you've spent already in UK. So if you applied for your visa earlier and arrived in UK before your dependents joined you, or before planning for your dependents to join you, the amount you are going to pay is going to depend on the amount of time you have spent in UK already on your visa. I hope you understand. So let's say you've been in UK for 1 year, you are on a 3-year visa. They are going to take out a certain amount which is equivalent to the 1 year you've spent already. So they are basically going to pay for like 2 years visa. And then please, the application is separate. You apply for your partner separately, you apply for your child separately. You don't apply for them together. So different links you apply. I'll leave the links to the child's application and then the partner's application in the description box, so that if you want to use it, you can just head over by using that link. And then you are going to pay separately as well. I hope you get it. So it's going to be double payments, depending on the number of children as well. And then for those who are not eligible for health and care worker visa, so nurses and healthcare assistants, Medilab qualify for health and care worker visa. The research I did about teachers, they also qualify for health and care visa. So that's some great news there. But if you don't qualify for health and care visa, but you're on a skilled worker visa, you will need to pay health surcharge, immigration health surcharge, which is charged, or which you are going to pay when you are paying for your visa. I mean, during the visa application payments, that money is going to be calculated and added to your bill for you to pay. All right, and it's quite expensive, so you will have to look into it. I'll provide details of the amounts up here, okay, so that you can have a quick look at it. Quite expensive, and it's actually calculated per year, meaning if you apply for a 3-year visa, then you're going to pay 3 times that amount I'm going to provide here. Okay, please, if you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe, hit the notification bell. As I mentioned earlier, subscription is free, right? After going through all the stress and paying all those monies, you wouldn't even want your visa delayed, to talk of it being rejected. So let's go on to the documents. Put them together, get a pen and paper, write them down so that you don't miss any one of them. Okay, with the documents, I'm going to mention what I used as the main applicant, what I uploaded for my spouse, what I uploaded for my child, and then I'm going to give a general one. This general one applies to spouse or partner and child. So when you upload the individual documents I'm going to mention for them, you add this general one. Now let's move on. So for myself, I uploaded my police clearance certificates, TB test certificates, passport, employment letter or offer letter, certificates of sponsorship. So in this case, if you don't have if you don't have maintenance for your certificates of sponsorship, then you need to provide proof of funds. And then also I added IELTS test reports, my CBT test reports, and then I also added my marriage certificate and my child's birth certificate. Then when it comes to my spouse, or let's say your partner, so here I'm going to talk about two different groups. Those who want their girlfriends or boyfriends to join them, and then those with legal documents. Okay, so first document I want to mention is the marriage certificates for your spouses or for your partners. Marriage certificates. So if you don't have the marriage certificates, if you are not married, then your civil partnership certificates. If you don't have the civil partnership certificates, let's say it's your girlfriend or your boyfriend, this is where I want to stress on. Please get enough evidence from chats. So if you have chats dating way back from 2 years, please gather it. Try to download it and convert it to PDF. Documents are only accepted in PDF, or screenshot them, convert them to however you would do it. Just do it. If you have emails between you and your partner, please, with dates, okay, with dates, something with dates, please add it. If you have money transactions, download it or screenshot them, or however you want to do it, convert them to PDF and add it. Now this is one interesting thing. For my partner, I also added a property document. So we have a land together in our name. We decided to add that document to prove relationship. So for example, if you are this person with your girlfriend and you have let's say you set up a company together and you have both of your names on it, you can provide that document as part of your evidence. Same for those in civil partnership, you can add it. I think it's going to help you a lot. Then the other documents follows the passports of your partner, their TB test certificates, your partner's TB test certificate, your partner's police clearance, because they are above 18 years, they must be above 18 years, so police clearance, and then pictures. Okay, so those, the boyfriend, girlfriends who have pictures with dates, you can also add those ones, but remember to convert them to PDF. Maybe you went to the beach, you went to have a moment, you have the date on it, probably somewhere 2016, and the date is just on it. Try to convert it to PDF and attach it. Then for the child, first thing you're going to need is a birth certificate. Birth certificate contains your name and then your partner's name, or let's say it contains the names of the father and the mother of the child. So it already proves legal relationship. So you have to upload the birth certificate of the child. If this child is adopted, then you will need the adoption document, legal one. Then for me, I also added my child's baby dedication certificates. So it's in the form of, let's say, baptismal card. If you send a child to church, usually they give a certificate with the name of the child and the parents, date of birth and stuff like that, quite similar to birth certificate. Then the child's TB test certificate, and then his passports. Then one very important document was the child consent letter. Yes, we were required to add a child consent letter. So I'll leave a copy or a picture of this consent letter up here so that you can have a quick look at how I drafted it. I will cover some personal information like passport numbers and full names. I'll cover those ones and probably address. So I'm going to brief you on how I wrote this. So I wrote it as I was writing it, the main applicant, and then I was authorizing my husband to travel with our child to UK. And so I added my passport number, my husband's passport number, our child's passport number, and then I also added the address they will be staying in when they arrive, just to prove to the UK government that, well, if they come, they are not going to be homeless, they are going to find a place to live. And then this letter was signed by myself and my husband. When he was coming, he came with it. He kept it with him. So at the immigration checkouts, when they arrived at the airports, the arrival airports, it was checked to prove that yes, the mother knows that he is traveling with a child, and then to prevent child trafficking. So this is a measure to control child trafficking. Now let's move on to the general documents. This general document applies to your partner and your child. So the first document I added is the COS, that's a certificate of sponsorship. And then I also uploaded my visa, my passport as proof of identity. I added my biometric residence permit. It's a card. When you arrive in UK, you get that card. When you are taking the picture, please make sure to take the front and the back. And then I also added unconditional offer letter. So when I was coming, I had a conditional offer letter. When my dependents were coming in, I already had an unconditional offer letter. So I added the unconditional offer letter. I also added proof of address. That is tenancy agreements. Okay, I added that document as well. Then one last very important document I added was the maintenance letter. It's true my employer had ticked maintenance on my certificate of sponsorship. However, when I contacted my employer and made them aware that I wanted my dependents to join me in UK, they asked me to forward their details, their passport numbers and full names, and then a letter was sent to me stating that when my dependents arrive, they, my employer, are going to take care of them. So these are the documents I uploaded. If you want your dependents to come, contact your employers, make them aware. I know someone who applied for their dependents and were asked to go for this maintenance letter. Thank you for watching this video, and I would like to see you again very soon.